Hey guys, how are you? I'm extremely excited to welcome you to another amazing episode of Fuel Your Drive. And let me tell you guys, I've watched tons of content of today's guest. And I got to tell you, I just know from just the vibe I get, just seeing him, he's a real genuine person. He inspires millions of people. And I was actually saying to myself, man, how great would this have been in 2008 when I was sitting in my parents' dining room with so many questions and concerns if I had this content available and I knew about it, and how helpful it would have been. He's all about believing. He's my kind of guy. He's a driver, and he has extreme passion, and he never quits. Guys, welcome to the show, Evan Carmichael. Evan, welcome to the show.
Appreciate the love, man. Thank you for that. That's energy. That's Eddie. You got to bottle that and sell it.
Listen, no coffee, up at 3:45, actually 3:44 every single day like clockwork. You're never going to find energy like this, and we're about to bring it. But Evan, let me tell you something. I was so excited to get you on the show because, you know, I'm all about believing. I'm all about vision. I'm all about making it happen. And you're that guy. I know you're that guy. So why don't you shortly start to share a little bit about your story, a little bit about yourself, because, you know, I know you got, you know, a great book out and you got great things going on. And I want my audience to really hear about it.
So, you know, I'm either known best for my books or my YouTube channel. Josh is a fan of the YouTube channel, obviously. So talking about entrepreneurship and believing in entrepreneurs. And I think your biggest pain leads to your purpose. So whatever you struggled the most with in life is the thing that you want to help other people with for the rest of your life. And so I struggled a lot as an entrepreneur. I didn't believe in myself enough. And so now I create content to try to help other entrepreneurs believe in themselves more, to go chase down their dreams. We've got just over 2 million subscribers on the channel, 300 million views. Hard to really understand what that looks like. I don't know what 300 million views means. You know, it's a bunch of Josh, fresh and repeats. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I do. And now we're here on this podcast. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that for a second. So, you know, you've had a lot of pain, right? Now, I always say, you know, pain equals success. And, you know, if you're not uncomfortable, you better start getting uncomfortable, because without getting uncomfortable, you'll never be comfortable. So let's talk about that, because I think the biggest problem is, you know, and I talk about this with a lot of people, and we have a lot of the same connections, you know, a lot of the same guests on the show. And I know you're connected with a lot of the same people, and I've shared this with them as well. People just get scared, quit. That's what happens. You know, people, you know, everyone wants the gold, and they say, you know what, well, silver's pretty good, so I'll settle at silver. Like, how are you able to, and when did you able to, like, understand and know that you got to keep going, and you were able to believe enough, and look at what you've done. Like, the numbers are very impressive. Like, I have to tell you, like, I'm extremely impressed by it. Like, honestly, I even want to talk offline, like how you can help me with this, because I've just become new more to like the YouTube channel. I want to grow mine as well, so I could obviously learn from you as well.
We could talk online about it too. I don't care. I don't think most people go, you know, for silver and then quit. I think most people just never get into the race. I think most people, I think that the mindset shift you have to make is being scared is not a good enough reason anymore. Mm-hmm. So I go with scary, difficult, or hard. If I hear myself say it, if I'm writing it in a message, scary, difficult, or hard means I have to go off and do it. Just because the last thing you want to do is teach yourself that you came up against something scary and you back down. That destroys your self-confidence, self-respect, all of it. It's when something is scary, whether it works out or not, whether you win or not. Like, if you were scared to do your first interview, and whoever your first guest was, and you show up and you just vomit all over the screen, great, post, right? Episode 1, done. Next, right? Like, the fact that you teaching yourself that you do scary things is the greatest thing you could do 100%. For yourself, period. The trick is catching it, because a lot of times the reasons that we come up with for not to do something are really smart reasons, because we're smart people. You're not going to believe some stupid reason. You believe the smart reason, but underneath that is really, you're just scared. And when you can get down to the fact that you're just scared, now teaching yourself that's not a good enough reason pushes you forward to actually do whatever, create YouTube videos, make a podcast, ask that girl out, start that business, like whatever the thing is that you're afraid to do.
Let me ask you an honest question, because I don't know how I feel, but I want to ask you. So
okay, I like it.
You know,
I like it.
All right. So the last event, I speak often, and before this happened, I was speaking at an event. I don't know, maybe 1,000 people there. How do you feel before you go on a stage and talk to, whether it's 10 people or 1,000 people? What do you feel? what are your feelings? Like, give me like inside your body. What are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you have a little anxiety? Like, because I'll tell you how I feel after, but how do you feel?
I'm usually panicking. Maybe not full on panic. Depends on the event. I had a full on like panic attack when Brendan Bouchard asked me to speak at his event in Puerto Rico. And it was like Eric Thomas, me, Dean Graziosi, and Brendan Bouchard, and people are paying big money to, be there. And like, oh my God, I'm like, why am I here? Because my biggest fear is disappointing people. My biggest fear is that I'm going to let people down. Mm-hmm. And now when you're on stage with, I forget, like 2,000 people in that room, now I got a chance to fail on a big stage and let everybody down, right? In my head, if I fail, then I've let everybody down in the whole room. And like Brendan's going to be pissed at me, even though I'm only on for an hour of a 4-day event. If I fail, the whole thing is a disaster.
Yep.
And this might be a little tweak, I hate the tell yourself that you're excited when you're nervous.
I agree with you.
Lots of people love that. Lots of people love. Tom Billiard loves it. Mel Robbins loves it. Simon Sinek loves it. I hate it. Said no, I'm nervous, and Evan Carmichael does things that make him nervous. That's leaning into the difficulty instead of trying to find some hack to fool yourself that you're not actually scared of this thing.
So it's crazy. So it's funny what you say this. So I also get very nervous too, and people don't believe that. But I use that nerve, and I use the nerves, and I know in my mind, I program myself. As soon as I start, as soon as my first word comes out, I'm good. And I always just train myself, and I say, look, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm super excited and trick myself, because I do that with a lot of things. Like I have this alter ego, like I play with my brain, and it works very well. But what I do, what you said, and it's very true, I just, I always tell everyone this, and I'm a big fan of Nike for the reason, I love their slogan, just do it. You just do it. You just always do it. When in doubt, you do it. You don't want to do like, I always like think about old situations, right? Like if I was out, with friends at a restaurant, and I the table next to me, I saw someone I was attracted to. I was like, man, I'd love to get her number. I would literally, Evan, I would go over to the table, even if there was like 10, 15 friends there, and she was sitting in the middle, I would interrupt the whole table while almost having a panic attack. But I knew those things would help me develop. Mm-hmm. How do you think we can get other people to do that? Because most people will never do things like that. They just will never do it.
Leading by example, sharing those stories, explaining that you're still nervous to do it, giving people permission. Like if people look at you and they see this ball of energy and they don't believe that you would be nervous getting on front of the stage, then showing people, telling people that story, even making a video of you 5 minutes before you go on stage and the panic in your eye, and like whenever you're in that moment, because people don't get to see that version, mm-hmm. right? Yep. I've been trying to make a conscious effort to pull the screen back and show the warts and insecurities and things that I'm worried about, because that's what will connect people to you. You're shortcutting so I used to, when I was afraid of something, I used to live with, I don't want to live with regret. I used to say, if I don't ask that girl out in front of 15 people, I'm going to regret it my whole life. This might've been the woman that I married. Yeah. And I missed out because I was too afraid to just walk over there on that one day and say hi to her, right? Yeah. That's the story I'll build up in myself, so that it created an even bigger pain to force me into action, because the pain of rejection now isn't so big. Mm-hmm. What I've done instead in the past 3 years or so has been more, the fact that I came up with the idea means that it's great, because I come up with great ideas and I have to go off and do it. And that sounds super egotistical and overly confident, but I think it's a great conversation to have with yourself. When people come up with ideas, they immediately second guess, judge, find reasons why they can't do it, why it's never going to work out, why they don't have the resources of the time or education or connections or whatever, why they can't do that thing. Instead, shortcut all the thinking, period. The fact that it popped into your head means you have to go off and do it.
It's very true. It's very, very true. And I really hope people really stop, rewind this and listen to it again and listen to it over again, because what Evan's saying is really spot on. But Evan, so I'm sure you've had so many failures, and I always, say you got a WTF, right? And it's not what you're thinking. It's you got to be willing to fail. You have to be understanding that failure will continue to move you forward. Like a question I always get is, would you change anything in your career if you could do it all over again? And the answer is no, because that's how I've learned. But what is something that's really been a major, failure on your end, where you contemplated, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? But allowed yourself to do pretty much what you said to continue moving forward.
So I'm micro failing every day. Like I failed 8 times today at least already on different things that I've been trying to do. The biggest failure though, the most painful moment of my life was when I told my business partner that I quit. I was 19, 20, wasn't having any success. I'm making $300 a month. I'm telling my friends that I'm living the entrepreneur life and hustling, but really like I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I'm not making any money. I'm working my face off and just no results coming in. And so I told my partner I quit. And like hearing me say I quit on something I care about, right? It's like you quit on something you don't care about, who cares? It's like this was my life, and me saying I quit really messed me up. And the next day I woke up and said, I can't quit. I haven't given it everything I've gotten yet. And as a result, what have I done for the past 20 years is try to help other entrepreneurs believe in themselves more and not quit. It's like inside of that greatest failure or greatest weakness or greatest moment where you felt like a loser as a human is your purpose for the rest of your life. And it's the classic, like Phoenix rising from the ashes. Most people don't succumb to it as opposed to letting it define them in a good way where they rise up and take on the challenge.
Very, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So what is like your daily routine like? What is like a day for Evan look like?
So I have a morning routine that I'll go through pretty much every single day. And then I have different days I do different things. So I like having one day dedicated to one thing. I find that switching tasks, for most people is really hard, but for me, it's like extra hard. So if I'm talking to you and then I go write a book and then I go do some copy for Instagram and then make a video, I'm just going to be all over the place and not be productive. So we're recording this on a Thursday. All I've been doing all day long is talking to people. Thursday is I'm a natural introvert. So Thursday, I put my extrovert hat on and I'm just talking and I'm doing my Movement Makers group and I'm doing interviews and podcasts and hangouts and Skype calls like all day long until I'm not done till 9 o'clock tonight, right? And it's 5-minute breaks in between each one. And that's it. That's the whole day. And then I don't do any interviews until next Thursday. And I like having one day that's just totally open for that. So your actions have to map to your ambitions, right? Like what are the goals that you have in life, and then put it into your calendar. So Monday, I'm spending the whole day with my team. Tuesday, I'm spending the whole day making YouTube videos. Wednesday is my project day that's open. Yesterday was totally open. Like what do I want to work on today? Go work on that. Thursday is public facing day, extrovert day, spread the message. Friday is what I call CEO day. So working on big projects to move my business forward. Saturday is just day with my wife and I'm planning something for us to go do. So we're going to a park to go hiking this Saturday. And then Sunday's family admin day where it's like grocery shopping and Costco and whatever, clean up the condo, stuff that has to get done in your life, right? But if you don't have that plan, things bleed into each other, right? So like, hey, we need to go to Costco. Well, not Saturday. Like Saturday's our fun day. Like you have to put gates up around the things that are important to you. Otherwise, other people's agendas will constantly pull at your time and you feel like you're not living intentionally. So I find that super helpful.
I like that. And I agree with you. Now, let me ask you now, how important do you think routines and rituals are?
I think it's super important. I think most people wake up like an accident. I think most people just wake up and pull out their phone and just start responding to other people's emergencies and demands for your time. Likely not your audience if they've been listening to you and getting advice and training and help and support, over how many episodes of your show. But successful people have a routine. Everybody wakes up the same way. People don't wake up and be like, oh, yes, Thursday. I can't wait to go up and crush today, right? Like nobody does that. I don't do that. Tony Robbins doesn't do that. Like nobody does that. The difference is successful people demand excellence from themselves today. Like today matters. I'm going to demand excellence from myself. And then whatever the thing is that you have to do to get that, having built into your morning routine, like the thing that gets you feeling alive, motivated, confident, it's happened before in your life. I mean, everybody listening, you have at some point in your life felt motivated, powerful, bold, confident. It's just not consistent. Yep. So whatever the thing is that makes you feel bold, put that into your morning routine so that you demand that from yourself for the rest of your life. If you woke up every day for the next year, did the thing that made you feel bold and confident, and then felt bold and confident for the day, like your life is dramatically different 1 year from today.
100%. And that's the key, consistency. I always talk about consistency. It's the most important thing because look, like you said, and I have a lot of energy. My energy is like I'm like this all day long, even at night. And I work long days, but I'm always consistent no matter what, because there's days like this morning, the first thing I do is work out in the morning. I did not want to get up and work out. I was exhausted. I would have loved to sleep a couple more hours, but I just do it every single time. And that's the difference. And if you listen to what Evan said, it's spot on. It's really, really spot on.
Well, just to that point, I don't think your goals count until they're hard.
That's right.
You set goals when you're feeling bold and powerful and confident. Great. Those are actually the best things for you. Like, I think the decisions you make when you're feeling bold are the right ones for you. And then your head then spends the rest of the week telling you why you can't do it. Waking up when it's been an easy night and you had 8 hours sleep and no problems in life and going to work out is easy. It's what happens when you had some crisis or you had the fire alarm go off or just something and you slept super poorly and you're on 1 hour sleep and then you wake up, you go work out because that's who you are. Like, those are the identity building moments. Your goals don't count until they're hard. You expect them to get hard. Just to that workout point, I had a goal where I was doing half an hour run every day. My goal is half an hour run. And I drove with my wife and my team to Boston. And we drove from Toronto. It was crazy late night. We didn't get in till 2 a.m. and I hadn't done my run yet. And everybody's going to bed. What am I doing? I'm doing my run.
Attaboy, baby. That's what I like to hear. That's it.
And listen, though, like, it was the worst run I've ever done in my life.
Yep. But you did it.
I burned like no calories. I'm exhausted. It's not great for my health in that moment.
Yep.
But it's great for my self-worth.
Yep.
I was tired the next day. I should have gone and slept, but what that does for your self-confidence, you can't buy. The fact that I then ran from my house, I said, I'm going to do 30 minutes. I didn't say I'm going to burn X number of calories or get, it was 30 minutes of running. That was my goal. I'm doing it. And so that's who Evan Carmichael is. And I want that for everybody listening too. You build the identity for yourself and understand that your goals don't count until it gets hard. So
true. I always say, using a workout as an example, if your workout's not hard enough and you're not scared of it, you're not working hard enough. And that's really good. So you and I are very similar in many ways. So Evan, now, so you've been growing like crazy over the years. You have a lot of good connections. Like, so I know I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to be in your place. Where do you start? Like, yeah, I understand you have this huge channel. You got a lot of great connections. Like, how does someone do that? Like, where would they even start? Because people are just like scratching their heads, say, well, I would love to have hundreds of millions of views. Like, where do you start? Like, how do you get connected with, the people who you and I are connected with? Like, how do you do that? And not from my perspective, obviously, from your perspective, how do you do it?
Well, one, if you look at my growth, it took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then 5 years to go from 7,000 to 2 million. So there's a lot to the consistency and follow through. I wasn't natural in front of the camera. You can go back and watch my first videos. They're still there. They're super embarrassing. Go back and watch them. Most of your audience is probably already better on camera with their thoughts than I was when I first got started. One is just staying consistent on the message. Staying consistent on making the videos, especially YouTube. YouTube is a long-term game. The videos I made 10 years ago are still getting me views today. That doesn't exist. That doesn't happen on Instagram. Your posts from 10 hours ago aren't getting views anymore, let alone 10 years ago. But because it's a consistent game and a long-term game, people don't get the results on YouTube as fast as they do on other platforms. So you have to have if you said, hey, I want to sell my business in 3 months, don't even start a YouTube channel. It's not going to help you. But if you're in this game for life, if you want to have a big impact, touch a lot of people's lives, build a personal brand, YouTube has to be your number one place. So commit to making videos consistently, at least 1 to 3 times a week. Reduce the value of production quality. People don't produce because they don't, what camera do I use and what microphone do I use and what's the lighting and it's not perfect and I made a mistake and there's no editing and I don't know what software. None of that stuff matters for most people. If you're a photographer or you're an editor, your stuff better look great. But if I'm coming to you, I'm not coming to you because you have graphics flying in. I'm coming to you because you ask great questions. I'm coming to you because you're going to make me think a different way. Like, the production quality is the quality of your thought. and the ability to shift my mindset, which you can do right there from your webcam in your house. But people get in their own way, and they put those, because I don't have an editor or I can't afford one, then they don't create. So understand the business that you're in. If you're a thought leader expert, your job is to make me think like you think.
It's very powerful. I like that. It's very powerful. So raw is just what it's at, right? Raw and authentic is like what people want to see. So, you know, grab your camera like we're talking on right now and just put some content and send a message up and upload it. Is it simple as that? Or are you adding certain hashtags? Like, how does someone do it?
Anytime. So hashtags don't really matter for YouTube. They're big on Instagram. But a good hack is anytime you're feeling emotional, film. You got an emotional moment. You listen to this episode, you're feeling fired up. Don't wait till tomorrow, because you're going to forget what this feels like right now.
Yep.
Now for you, maybe you feel emotional all the time. So that's great. But for most people, they have moments, right? And different kinds of emotions, right? Like, motivated, pumped up, inspired is one, but you could also lean into gratitude. Like maybe something happened and you just feel deep gratitude. You're feeling it. Take out your phone and just start filming it. When you're in the moment, the words won't matter as much as the emotion behind it. So you can have the perfect script and perfect words, but if you're reading it 3 days later, it won't carry. People won't feel it.
Yep.
If you just took a transcript of this interview and put it up as an article, it wouldn't carry as much because they can't hear the emotion in your voice and how much you care about this.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're feeling emotional, take out your phone and film. That's hack number one. So that should be happening. That could happen once a day. And don't stress out if it's not perfect. It's not meant to be. 2, try to lead with a powerful opinion. Most people, when they're making a YouTube video, hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Tommy, and I'm so excited. Goodbye. I've already left. Like, you got 5 seconds. You got to hook me with something. First off, welcome back. You look at my channel. I have 83 to 87% of my audience of people who view my videos are non-subscribers at my size, which is great. That means you're growing. If you're only talking to your subscribers, your channel is going to start dying.
Mm-hmm.
If you're brand new, you're talking to all sorts, like it should be all new people that you're talking to. So welcome back. I don't even know who you are. Welcome back. Why are you telling me? Don't waste the time at the beginning telling me your name and welcome back, because I don't care yet, right? Make me care about you because you're telling me something important. So for thought leaders, experts, think about, what do you believe that other people don't, like, what do you believe? What do you believe that other people don't believe?
I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything.
That's your first line.
Anything.
You can do anything you put your mind to. Like, take out your phone, press record. You can do anything you put your mind to. It's the first thing out of your face when you start. Most people don't do that.
Okay.
Most people.
Now I'm asking you for help, and I want everyone to see, I don't have all the answers. I'm asking for help, and you have to always ask for help because that's how you grow. So I'm asking you for help. So I want to start a YouTube channel because I know it could blow up. So right here, I got, plaques, and I got my book, but I want to add that YouTube plaque. I know I'm going to get it, so I got to get it. So Evan, tell me how I get it. I get on YouTube. All right. Make sure I'm looking handsome, which I am. And I say, first of all, I want to let you know.
No. None of that. First of all, I want to let you know. No, cut it.
Okay. So, all right. So let's redo this.
Yeah.
I believe you can do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
And what else
Even
am I
that,
saying?
like, you can do anything you put your mind to with the intention and energy. But this is the thing. We have this need to put in filler words, right?
Yep.
First of all, I want to let you know, or whatever, like, kill it.
Okay.
And this is where.
What else do I say? What else do I say after that? Like, how long is the video? Is it 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
No. 10 minutes. 10 minutes plus on YouTube.
Okay.
You just take me on a journey. So your first step is a powerful opinion. You can do anything you believe you can do. Give me one more sentence that explains that in a little bit more detail, because people might miss it. So, like, say it again in different words.
So, you want to start a business with no money? Something like that?
You want to start a business with no money? It's
with no
possible.
Money. It's possible. Yep.
Lots of people have done it with less money than what you got right now.
It's very true.
Okay. So that's the context sentence. And we can watch this back to actually digest it.
Yep.
So powerful opinion, context sentence, then raise the stakes. Like, make me care. Like, if I don't make change happen right now, what happens?
You should just click off the video.
No, but what happens to my life? Like, if I don't listen to you right now,
you're not growing. You're not growing. You're just going to stay the same person. You're just not going to grow.
Yeah. If you don't change your belief system, you're never going to grow, and you'll end up in the same spot you are right now 5 years from today. Like, you got to make it painful for me. And I'm just doing examples.
No,
you
I
can
got
use your words.
I got what you're saying. Yep.
But that's it. So powerful opinion, context, give me a little bit more with that sentence, and then raise the stakes. Like, if I don't change right now, people are just clicking on a video and like, holy cow, you're changing my life. I got to wake up and pay attention. Those are your first 3 sentences, right? That's way better than what most people will do.
That's great.
From there, you tell me a story. And you got lots of stories about your life, about a friend's life, about a client's life, about somebody you met at an event, about Donald Trump, about like news cycle stuff, COVID, whatever, some kind of story that relates to believing in yourself. And then you give me the advice. So, hey, if you want to believe in yourself more, here's what you got to do. Let's get tactical now. 1, 2, 3, right? You tell me what I need to do. Set a morning routine. Read my book, whatever you've got, right? And then you wrap it up. That's a 10-minute video.
Now, what do I put in the title? I don't use hashtags, and I just upload it. That's it.
I wouldn't overthink it at the beginning.
Right.
If you want some good titles, go look at what other people, like, go to YouTube and type in what you think would be a title, and then you see what other people are using, and then take pieces from their videos. Like, rip off other people's titles, model success. Your goal is to rank after them. So that's thought leadership content. That's you delivering fire and be like, it's so hard to miss it. Like, I gave you the instructions and then you did it wrong, right? It's so hard to miss it. Record, boom, first thing out of your face. And if you don't get that right, do it again. Because once you get into your story and the advice, you're going to crush it. Like, you know what you're talking about. It's nailing that first 3 sentences until those 3 are perfect. I do a second series for you of coaching. Coaching.
Okay.
How many people follow you on Instagram?
Like 40,000, I think 40, something like that. 42,000.
I mean, it works with 400.
I'm very new on social. You know, I've been so busy.
No, it's not about the numbers. I think if somebody gets a chance to sit down with you, you're going to be able to shift them in a session.
Yep.
Now I want to make that public. So you reach out to your people on Instagram or your assistant, whatever, and you say, hey, I'm launching a new show. I do a daily show at 2:00 Eastern. Yours can be whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm doing coaching for free.
Okay.
Do you want to join? Do you have a question? Do you want to join me? And you book your first 2 weeks of guests.
Yeah.
People say yes. Like, the caveat is it's public, so other people get to see what's happening.
Got it.
And your goal is, when I'm sitting down with you, I'm going to get this aha moment. My eyes are going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. This guy just gave me clarity on my life, right?
Yep.
Other people watching will feel the same clarity for themselves. It's not just about helping this one person. In helping them, you're helping everybody.
Correct.
And then all you have to do is show up. There's no prep work.
Yep.
You show up, hey, what do you got? Just like this interview. Like, I'm not prepping for it. I just show up. You ask me questions. Here we go.
I don't prep for this. I put an intro together, 2-3 sentences, and I just let it flow naturally, because that's how it's got to be.
So when you're doing coaching, now all you have to do is show up. You show up on Instagram. They show up. It's picture in picture. You then download the video, and Instagram's vertical, YouTube is horizontal. So you just put one person on, each side, and that's a video. And then it's you coaching people, and as they shift, the audience shifts, and they're like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him before. I want to check him out. What's that book, Fuel? I want to go check it out, right? I want to subscribe to his channel.
Got it. Now,
most of the stuff you talk about is so evergreen too. Like, the stuff you say in 5 years is still relevant. If you talk about COVID, great, that's not going to be relevant. But most of the stuff you talk about is still relevant. It's timeless stuff, timeless wisdom.
100%.
So YouTube is the game for you, because people in 5 years will still be trying to find answers to those same questions, and you got them.
Yeah, I have no subscribers, so I got to get on this, and I have no problem. People think I have 0 subscribers, everyone, just so you can know, 0, but I'm going to have a lot. And Evan and I are I'm taking your advice 100%, by the way. But, and we should talk offline so I can get some more advice. I really appreciate it. But Evan, before we wrap this up, I always like to finish off with, what's one question that I didn't ask that you would have asked if you were doing the interview?
I only care. I'm like you, man. I bounce with the energy. I want you asking the questions that you care most about. Like, I'm pumped that you actually flipped it and made it about you and not just what your audience cared about. And you got some tactical advice to build your YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, listen.
You asked it.
There you go. That's how it's got to do. But listen, we should do something more together, Evan. I really like you, man. I love your energy. Love what you're about. And, where can people find you? Because I'm sure you're going to get a lot more followers now.
If you want the book, you can get it on Amazon, Built to Serve. Otherwise, Evan Carmichael on most social platforms. You'll see me there.
I love it. Guys, Evan was just gracious enough to bless us with some great knowledge. I've learned something. I know you did. The difference is you have to take what he said and actually execute on it. Thank you again for this episode on Fuel Your Drive. Take care.